It all started in 1095 CE when Pope Urban began to feel threatened by the constant spread of Islam. He was also threatened by the pilgrimage that most Muslims would take, because it involved a trip to Jerusalem, which both Christians and Muslims believed to be their holy land. In fact, they still do. So he decided to do the most rational thing he could think of, which was to form an army compiled of poor knights and enthusiastic peasants to storm Palestine and reclaim the Holy Land of Jerusalem. His army had no training, no supplies, and no plans. And on top of all that, the Pope decided it was a good idea to put this guy, Peter the Hermit, in charge of the Crusades. Oh boy. Surprisingly enough, they were actually pretty successful. At first. They were initially able to conquer several cities, including Jerusalem. Unfortunately, they later lost Jerusalem to the Arabs due to the fact that although they were great at fighting the Greeks and the Turks, they also had a tendency to fight amongst themselves. Crits. By 1204 CE, a total of 4 crusades failed to produce results, yet the impact of violence and uncertainty that they left on the Holy Land still remains to this day. In fact, the Crusades led to centuries of mistrust and intolerance between Christians and Muslims. The Crusades also led to the eventual decline of the Byzantine Empire when the Turks toppled it in 1453. Oddly enough, the Crusades were not without their benefits. The Crusades led to the rediscovery of new aspects of its ancient past, such as Aristotle. Yeah! His teachings made a big comeback, along with the new sense of Christian identity that much of Europe adapted to. Not to mention the surprising amount of economic development that took place because of the large amounts of interactions that occurred during the Crusades. The Crusades proved that even the efforts of conquest and expansion that fail to reach their goals still have a major impact on history, even when they suck and are horribly misguided. But wait, women did stuff too. They aided in recruitment, took over the Crusaders' responsibilities in their absences, and so much more. But history is a man's sport, even when they fail miserably at their missions.